everybody, Sean from Movie Assault here, and it's time once again for another video. This time around, it is time for my July 2024 pickups video, or July 2024 haul video, whatever you'd prefer to call it. This time around, I have stuff from Amazon, Shout Factory, Hamilton Book, Big Lots, Whatnot, and I got one from the local antique store, believe it or not. I think that's everything. The majority of the stuff this month is actually from Amazon and Hamilton Book. And I'll show you the Shout Factory pickup first because it's the newest thing that I picked up. I actually posted this on Instagram. It is a sequel to a film that I think I'm one of the few people that really enjoyed. It's a sequel to Rendell, Dark Vengeance, I believe is the full name of it, which came out in 2017, and it is Rendell Cycle of Revenge, which was directed by, at least partially, by Jesse Haja, I believe is how you pronounce his name. It's a Finnish superhero film, and I liked the first one because it was very much a callback to the superhero films of the 90s. Very small scale. It wasn't super epic. It wasn't full of CGI. It was basically about a guy fighting evil in his city. More along the lines of sort of a Daredevil type thing. You could say Batman, but even Batman is probably more epic than Rendell. But I've heard there were a lot of problems with the production of this, and the director was canned partway through, and as a result, he retired from directing completely. So I'm not expecting big things from this, but I'm just curious, based on the strength of the first one, I wanted to see what this ended up being. Earthquake warning, I have a cat under my tripod, so if the camera shakes, I apologize. It is not a 7.0 on the Richter scale, it is my cat. All right, next up are the Big Lots stuff, and the next is the only other DVD I picked up. I picked this up for one movie, but both of these movies look good. The movie I picked it up for is A Man Called Horse, which was a favorite of mine when I was little-ish. I remember seeing it in the theater and then watching it a lot when it was on TV. Big Jake with John Wayne, I'll watch it, but I have no real desire to see it. Here's the back. But yeah, don't sleep on Big Lots. They got some more new stuff in. I'll be showing you some more stuff in just a second. But A Man Called Horse, I don't know if it's on Blu-ray. It might be. I just ran across it in Big Lots and figured I'd pick it up just to watch it again. Pick this up. This is Naomi Watts, and I can't see who's under the sticker, but it's called Infinite Storm. This is a relatively recent release, 2022. Billy somebody, but it doesn't say on the back. Let me see if it says on here. Billy Howell, who is in it. I have not seen this one, so this is a blind buy. Let me know if you've seen this one. Also picked up The Huntsman Winters War. I picked up the first movie last month, so I figured I'd get the second one. Also picked this up. This is Steve Carell in Irresistible. Also, this was written and directed by Jon Stewart, which is mainly the reason I picked it up. Also stars Chris Cooper, Mackenzie Davis, Topher Grace, Natasha Lyonne, and Rose Byrne. But I was just interested to see what Jon Stewart would be able to come up with. Should be funny, hopefully. All right, that's Big Lots. This is the one movie that I picked up at the local antique store. We call it the Co-op around here. It's basically where a bunch of sellers get together and sell stuff in their little shops. And there's one place that sells a lot of movies, and they had this still sealed with the price tag from Best Buy. This was, I believe, $3. It's the 2-pack of Grumpy Old Men and Grumpier Old Men, which I did not have in my collection, which is a travesty that I had to rectify immediately. I love both of these movies. All right, next up is the Amazon stuff. There's quite a bit of it, so let's get into it. This is sort of a space saver and addition to the collection all at once. I already have Darkman on Blu-ray, but I picked up the Darkman Trilogy to add Darkman 2 and Darkman 3 to the collection. I don't believe I've seen the third one. I've seen the first one many times. The second one I've seen once, but I've never seen, I don't think I've seen the third one. So now I've got all three in the collection. Love the first one. I thought the second one was okay. I believe Arnold Vosloo is the guy that steps in to play Darkman in the second and third one. And from what I remember, he did an okay job. He's no Liam Neeson by any stretch of the imagination. And the director of the second and third one, Bradford May, is no Sam Raimi. But I don't know. For direct-to-video sequels, at least the second one wasn't too bad. The first one's a classic, though. Also picked up the 4K of Twister. I realized I just picked this up with the glow-in-the-dark slipcover, but I didn't realize it was coming out on 4K, and I love this movie, watch it all the time when it's on cable, so having it on 4K seemed essential, so I managed to get it with the slipcover. I got it. It was delayed for some reason. I didn't think I'd get the slipcover. Not that it matters too terribly much, but I figured since it was delayed, I was probably getting a second run of it and wouldn't be getting the slip, but I did. Latest release from the Film Masters series is the Crippled Masters. This is the latest in their series, and this is FMB 012, and it says 2 crippled brothers, 1 indestructible force. It debuted in 1979. It was later released in the United States in 1982. It was directed by Joe Law, and the film tells the story of 2 martial artists, one without arms and the other without legs. And this was newly restored from the original 35mm archival elements. So I thought this looked really interesting. Also, this has been on my wish list for quite a while. I finally picked it up on Prime Day. I picked up Scorsese's The Departed on 4K. This was a great movie, and for some reason I didn't have it in my collection at all, so I picked up the 4K. These are films I've never seen, and I love Larry Cohen as a filmmaker. I can't believe I've never seen these, so I picked this up also on Prime Day, the It's Alive trilogy. I don't think these were on sale, but it's Alive, It Lives Again, and Island of the Alive. I've been seeing things about these movies my whole life, basically. The first one came out, when did it come out? I don't even know. I don't know. They came out in the 70s from what I remember. Oh, 74, 78, and 87. So 74 is the one I heard about. It's Alive, I've heard about it forever. And then It Lives Again and It's Alive 3, I've heard a little bit about. But, yeah. It's Alive Trilogy. And also upgrades for all of these. Well, 2 of these. 2 of these I didn't have. 4K upgrades for Rear Window and Psycho, which I had on Blu-ray. Vertigo I have not seen and don't own. And The Birds I've seen but don't own. So I figured I would pick this up. This was also on Prime Day. This was on sale. I didn't get any of the other ones, but I did want to pick this up. I've been wanting this for quite a while. Also pulled the trigger on a movie that I have been waiting to get on Blu-ray for quite a while. I watched it quite a while ago, and it was available on DVD. I think it went out of print, and then I think Shout Factory, Scream Factory had a version of it out on Blu-ray, and that was out of print and very expensive. And then a small company called, what is the name of this company? Sandpiper Pictures put it out in cooperation with MGM, and it's Blackula on Blu-ray. And got this for a really decent price. I think this was $12. And based on the review on Blu-ray.com, this actually doesn't look too terribly bad compared to other versions. So glad to have this finally in the collection. And then last but not least, I was sort of inspired by Kenny from Kenny's Movie Palace and my partner in crime on the Talking Movies with Sean and Kenny live stream podcast. He got this on DVD, and I've been wanting to see this movie again for the longest time, so I splurged and got it on Blu-ray. Thunderheart with Val Kilmer and Graham Greene and Sam Shepard. I saw this in the theater when it ran, I think it was 92. Yeah, 1992. But I only saw it once, and I really, really liked it, but I don't remember that much from it, so I wanted to catch it again and get it in the collection. So, Thunderheart. All right, next up is Hamilton Book. Picked up a lot of blind buys from Hamilton Book, usually because they're very cheap. This one I paid a little bit more for. I think I paid maybe $16, $17 for this one, just because I was really kind of interested in it. This is called Fake It So Real. This came out in 2011, but the movie came out in 2011, but the Blu-ray was released in 2023. But it's about wrestlers, independent wrestlers in North Carolina. It follows them around for a week, and I just thought it looked interesting. So this it received a fair amount of critical acclaim. So I was really interested to see it. It's a film by Robert Greene. So take a look at that. Also, this is a movie I've never seen, but I've heard a lot about. Blood Diamond with Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Connelly, and oh boy, Jaman Hunsu. I'm probably mangling his name, and I should probably know his name by now. Excuse me, but Blood Diamond. But I have been wanting to see this for a really long time and haven't. Also picked up from 1984. No, 1981. I thought this was 84. Wings Hauser, Susan Hubley, and Gary Swanson in Vice Squad. I believe I watched this on HBO or Cinemax or something at my dad's house back in the 80s. And from what I remember, it was a glorious exploitation time. I don't know how else you'd say that, but this is from Scream Factory. Yeah, Susan Hubley, who was in Hardcore, stars as Princess, a single mom by day, a Hollywood prostitute by night. A volatile cop, Tom Walsh, uses her to trap a sadistic pimp named Ramrod. I remember Ramrod, of course, played by Wings Hauser. Vice Squad. This is a movie that I have never seen but heard good things about. Denzel and Ryan Reynolds in Safe House. I had a copy of this that I got from the library, but it was damaged. It was all scratched up, so I couldn't watch it. So I spent $4.95 to replace it. Also picked this one up. This was also from Scream Factory. This is a film from 1972, and I love my 70s horror films. I don't know anything about this. I bought it totally, I don't even know what the plot is. I just thought it looked interesting. It's called Fright with Susan George. The plot is teenage babysitter Amanda arrives at the Lloyd home to watch their young son for the evening, but it seems that the strangely nervous Mrs. Lloyd is hiding a shocking secret, a secret that has just escaped from a nearby insane asylum and is now desperately trying to get inside the house. What must Amanda endure to survive the ultimate night of fright? It says, before When a Stranger Calls, there was fright. So this came out before that. Also from Scream Factory, I picked up this one, Road Games, with Jamie Lee Curtis and Stacy Keach. Bought it strictly on the strength of the cast and the fact that it's from the 80s. 1981 as well. And yeah, I don't know much about it other than she plays a hitchhiker. And it takes place in the Australian outback. Road Games. This I picked up because I really enjoyed it. I've seen this one. This is a really great performance from Willem Dafoe. This is called The Hunter. I have a review of this on my website, movieassault.com, if you're interested in reading it. I may have done a review of it, a video review of it on my old channel, Media Assault, which is still up, if it in fact exists. I can't remember if I did an actual video review of it, but I really enjoyed this movie. The plot is kind of interesting, and I don't want to really give anything away. But Hunter is basically brought in to kill the last Tasmanian tiger. I think that's what it is, or I believe it is a Tasmanian tiger. From what I remember. And there's all sorts of drama that goes on. I can't remember the plot too much, but I remember this was a really strong movie that I highly recommend. Also picked this up. This is Remembering Gene Wilder. I actually watched this on Netflix. I didn't realize it was on Netflix after I ordered it. But it's a really great documentary. I also have a review of this on my website. A great biography about Gene Wilder, the actor, who of course starred in so many great movies with Mel Brooks, Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles, of course Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and then with Richard Pryor in Silver Streak. It's got a lot of interviews, but I learned a lot about the guy. It doesn't really go too deep into the guy, you know, but you learn a lot about him anyway. And from all accounts, he was a great guy. But there's a lot I feel missing from this. So they don't mention his first two wives at all, which is, I think, a little strange. But if you're interested in Gene Wilder and you want to see some clips from his past and learn a bit about him, this is a great movie and well worth seeing. This was actually the first movie that I recommended on our podcast. This is Blackfish, a documentary. It is a little bit older now. It is from 2013, I believe. Yeah, 2013. So it's 11 years old, but it's still very valuable and still very, very much worth seeing. About cetaceans that are kept in captivity, and how they get there and what they're forced to do, and how they go a little nuts. So basically, it says never capture what you can't control. One of the quotes that I read about this that kind of gives you an idea of what it's like for a killer whale or an orca to be in captivity is, imagine yourself being forced to live in your bathtub for the rest of your life. That's what living in a sea aquarium or whatever is like for an orca, because they're meant to travel, they're meant to be social. But this just gives you a really good background on all of that. And this is a really gripping movie. Highly recommend it. And then last but not least, from Hamilton Book, I've never seen this. This is Wes Craven's Vampire in Brooklyn. I've heard this pretty regularly panned by most everybody, but I wanted to give it a shot. You know, hindsight being 2020 and whatnot, you know, some things have aged better than others. This may have gotten better or worse with age. I don't know, but I'm just interested to see it because it's one of Wes Craven's movies that I've not seen, and I'm interested to see it, which makes sense because I bought it. All right, next up are what I picked up from Whatnot that I didn't show in my Whatnot haul video. 3 of these actually arrived today, so technically they may be August pickups, but I bought them in July and they just got here today, so I'll count them. Picked up Abigail. This is a blind buy. I have not seen this one yet. New release. I've heard nothing but good things about this from everybody that's watched it. Everybody seems to really enjoy this one, and I'm looking forward to watching it. This one I got just because I like my crappy shark movies, and I know this is a crappy shark movie. I've seen it. It's pretty awful, Shark Night. But I picked it up for $3 just because I want to watch it again. I don't know why. I have some sort of malfunction in my brain that makes me want to watch this again. This is a really terrible movie, but terrible shark movies seem to be my thing. This is Anchorman 2. I do not own this until now. This is I think a three disc set. Yeah, it's pretty hefty. It's got 2 versions of the movie on Blu-ray and then the DVD, but it includes the supersized R-rated version, supposedly with 763 new jokes. I did not like this as much as the first one, not even close, but I did like it. It is funny, and it's always a good time to see Paul Rudd and Steve Carell and Will Ferrell. And, oh, what's his name? Oh, boy, I'm going to regret forgetting his name. David Koechner. So it's always worth it, and if I can get 763 new jokes out of it, I will. This I picked up because I wanted two of the movies on this. It obviously comes with three. I wanted to pick up The Losers and Shoot 'Em Up, both of which I had on DVD previously. Rock and Rolla I had already on Blu-ray, so I've got another copy of that. But this was a decently priced 3-pack. I got this for $4, so can't really argue with that. And then these are the last three that I got. I got these today. I bought these last Friday on Alster's show. I picked up Challengers with Zendaya and Josh O'Connor and Mike Feist. This is a type of movie that I would never see in the theater, but for what I paid for it, which I believe was $10 maybe, I'll give it a shot at home. You know, instead of spending $15, $16 to see it in a theater, I'll pay $10 to watch it at home and pause it whenever I can and, you know, do whatever. But and if I don't like it, I'll just sell it. And then these next two I have already seen, and I really enjoyed both of them. Monkey Man with Dev Patel. This is an amazing movie. It's sort of like, people describe it as John Wick in India, but I think it's actually a little deeper than that. It talks a lot about the culture in India and the separation of the rich and the poor, and how the rich really take advantage of the poor. So there's a lot more to it than just action, but what action is in it is fucking awesome. So I will just say that. But this is more than just John Wick in India. Really, really intense movie, and I really enjoyed it. And then last, but definitely not least, Purple Rain on 4K. This is an upgrade from my Blu-ray, which I will be trading in. I got this mainly for the special features, although the picture upgrade is worth it. But yeah, I wanted to get this because, of course, I love the music in this. I love this movie. Definitely a Gen X staple. Purple Rain with Prince and Vanity and or not Vanity, Apollonia. I'm sorry. Vanity's not in this. But Apollonia is Apollonia Cotero, Morris Day, and Clarence Williams III. All right, that's it. That's everything that I picked up for the month of July that wasn't included in my previous videos. So if there's anything that I picked up that you're interested in or liked or want to comment on, please do. I like to read all of the comments. It takes me a little while to reply because most of the time I read them when I'm in bed and I don't have my glasses on. So I'll reply eventually. Just be patient. So as always, if you've made it this far, I appreciate your attention span. And as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't done so already, please do. And click that notification bell to be notified when I drop a new video. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.